Sitting there fighting a battle that was over when I had to relocate. You see, I ain't much for letting go. No, baby, I gotta hold on. Cause trials, tribulations, and relationships have all made me strong. Oh, girl, I cry. These tears that I shed on the trail to bring you home. Oh, girl, I cry. Mama told me that a man's own tears can make him strong. Oh, girl, I cry. I'll sit around here and wait for you to come home. I'll cry for you. I'll cry. I'll cry.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips in the balance of the favor of fair use.
Yeah. My kind of shit. Shout out to my nigga Twin. He's a genius, boy. This is good music. When I first heard of this shit, you know exactly what I told you. I said, dog, this is exactly how I'm feeling. I don't know where you come up with this shit at, but yeah. Dog, this is exactly how I've been feeling. I've been wanting to get this shit out. I owe you for this one, brother. Yeah. Sometimes I wanna grab the strap and buck off. I'm fucked up. That's what's up with me, dog. It seems I can't get out the grass with distress. Be wanting to walk the right path, but it be taking me left. Smoked up a pound in 3 days, got about an eighth of it left. So what's next? Be the question that holds weight on my mind. I got to come out this slump, and it may take me some time. By design, I was dealt the worst. My copper-colored skin tone, yeah, I done felt the hurt. I grew accustomed, probably, who'll ever know. Straight give you that desert flow, dry heat. It reminds you of summers in Mexico. My literature, hella, yo, I'm credible. Like Josephus, get in that zone in my home while I be blowing reefers. My Bose speakers is life to me and priceless. See, I get in tune, banking on change to come soon. And I hope for better days and truths to the letters raised. This lopsided system, it never ceases to amaze. I got children.
Welcome to Blended Healing, Black History Bite. Let's protect our legacy as we learn more. Egypt is the home to one of the most ancient civilizations on Earth, occupied continuously since the 4th millennium BCE. Cities have risen and fallen, and even once powerful political, religious, and trading centers have been lost to time. But as archaeologists explore Egyptian sands and seabeds, they are rediscovering lost cities and revealing new secrets about the ancient Egyptian world. They have rediscovered the lost Egyptian cities of Aten, Amarana, Heracleion, Tanis, and Abydos. The city of Aten is known as the Lost Golden City, and the former capital was named after the Egyptian sun god Aten. Over 3,000 years old, the city is considered to be one of the biggest rediscoveries since the famous tomb of King Tut. And as Aten was discovered by accident by researchers who were looking for the mortuary temple of King Tut, they started excavation in September of 2020 near Luxor. Located near the ancient city of Thebes, this city dates from the 18th dynasty and the reign of the pharaoh Amenhotep III, as evidenced by inscribed vessels and bricks stamped with the seal of the pharaoh. As the pharaoh of the new kingdom, Amenhotep III ruled over a time of prosperity and power. Aten was the center for administration and industrial activity during what was considered the golden age of Egypt. The excavated neighborhoods in Aten show evidence of how life was when the empire was at its wealthiest. The city itself is well preserved with complete walls and homes full of relics and tools used in everyday Egyptian life. They have uncovered bakeries, tools for metalworking and glass production, and an administrative district. What happened to Aten? Amenhotep III's son, Amenhotep IV, better known as Akhenaten, made many changes to Egyptian politics and religion. Known as the rebel or the heretic king, Akhenaten reconstructed the Egyptian pantheon in favor of one deity, the sun god Aten. Akhenaten then abandoned the traditional royal seal at Thebes and the administrative complex in Aten in favor of the newly constructed city of Amarna. Akhenaten's city of Amara was located 400 kilometers north of Luxor on the east bank of the Nile. Amarna was built by Akhenaten around 1348 BCE. Amarna was not lost in the physical sense, as Egyptians continued to live in the area for centuries. However, the true origins of the ancient capital were lost. Akhenaten's successors carefully removed evidence of his reign from recorded history. In the late 18th century, the interest in the extensive ruins increased and archaeologists were drawn to the site. It was mapped by researchers from all over the world, and the locals found amazing artifacts, such as the Amman letters written on clay tablets. These letters are the example of the diplomatic correspondence exchanged between Egypt and neighboring territories during the New Kingdom. Another significant discovery from Amarna is the famous bust of Queen Nefertiti, wife of Akhenaten. This find is very important because her likeness and story was scrubbed from the record along with that of her controversial husband. What happened to Amarna? The city of Amarna was never really lost, but the history of its founder and the details of Akhenaten's reign were essentially wiped from the historical record by his successors. After Akhenaten's death, Thebes was reestablished as the capital with all administrative operations and other court attachments relocating accordingly. Researchers have discovered evidence that Amarna was occupied for at least a full generation after Akhenaten's reign. Eventually, the city was fully abandoned, and villages were established closer to the Nile and on the opposite side of the river. The underwater city of Heraklion was once the center of wealth and culture. The ancient Egyptian city of Heraklion lay submerged at the mouth of the Nile Delta around 1500 years. Dating back to the 7th century BCE, this port city thrived until it sank into the sea during the 8th century CE. It is thought to have been the largest port on the Mediterranean until Alexandria was founded in 331 BCE. The city was settled by Egyptian and Greek merchants and artisans, as evidenced by the wonderful variety of artifacts recovered from the sunken ruins. A Greek statue and sanctuary devoted to Aphrodite was also discovered in Heraklion, full of ceramic and bronze artifacts. Greek weapons were also discovered, thought to have belonged to the mercenaries charged with defending the Canopic branch of the Nile. The ruins of Heraklion are about 7 kilometers off the modern day coast of Egypt, under approximately 10 meters of water. Temples and the ruins of other buildings were discovered along with massive statues and luxury items such as jewelry and imported Greek ceramics. A tumulus was also discovered, which is a traditional Greek funerary area. Archaeologists realized that the full scale of the once bustling port city when they discovered walls and canals that transacted Heraklion. The city itself was organized around a central temple with neighborhoods connected by canals. Around 70 shipwrecks and over 700 ancient boat anchors have been found among the canals. So, what happened to Heraklion? Over time, the area experienced earthquakes, rising sea levels, which triggered flooding of the land at the mouth of the Nile. In turn, the flooding caused the soil underneath to liquefy. When the ground became unstable, the heavy stone structures on the city sank into the Mediterranean. Little information about the ancient port city can be found in surviving historical records. So the scientific community did not know the exact location of Heraklion until the year 2000. City number 4, the wealthy trading center of Tanis. Made famous by Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the lost city of Tanis has yielded a tremendous amount of information and dazzling artifacts. Much of the cinematic depiction of the city is fiction. No Ark of the Covenant or Nazis were involved in the discovery of this lost city. Located in the northeast Nile River Delta, The ancient city of Tanis was a wealthy center of trade that came to power centuries before Alexandria. During ancient Egypt's 21st and 22nd dynasty, Tanis also served as the royal seat for the Lower Egypt. Excavated in 19th century and in 1939, a royal tomb complex was discovered. This remarkable find included intact burial chambers that were undisturbed for nearly 3,000 years. Temples, residential complexes, and a wealth of artifacts were found during these excavations. Some of the most remarkable artifacts were recovered from the tombs, including elaborate sarcophagus and golden mask and jewelry and luxurious ceramics. Another notable discovery was the burial chamber of King Sheshkonah II, whose name and story was lost until the archaeologists found his tomb. What happened to Tanis? Tanis rose during a time when political power was divided. Over time, power became consolidated, and the capital of Lower Egypt was eventually abandoned in favor of Memphis. The structures of the once bustling and wealthy city were obscured by sand and silt as the Nile River eventually shifted. Pause. I want to bring to your attention the disturbances of the burial site, of them going in and raiding tombs. Unpause. Pause. You know that shit comes with consequences, right? All right. And lastly, Abydos. Abydos is known for the home of the iconic temple of Seti I. Located in Upper Egypt, the city was long been a sacred site. It served as the necropolis of Egyptian royalty predating the First Dynasty. Abydos served as the pilgrimage destination for the worship of Osiris. The tombs have revealed spectacular artifacts and inscriptions that have provided information relating to Egypt's pre-dynastic period. Intact ceramic vessels and revealed names of the pre-dynastic kings and evidence that Egyptians' written language advanced earlier than previously thought by historians. The famous Temple of Seti I is considered to be one of the most significant of all ancient Egyptian sites. At over 3,000 years old, this magnificent limestone structure opens into an iconic pillared hall, houses several courtyards, and decorated chapels. The chapel walls are particularly significant to the historical record as their carvings depict important funerary scenes. Also discovered in the ancient necropolis was an industrial scaled brewery thought to be the oldest in the world. It has been estimated that this production center is 5,000 years old and was capable of brewing nearly 6,000 gallons of beer at a time. Tomb inscriptions show the beer was used in funerary rituals performed in Abydos. What happened to Abydos? Over time, the pharaohs shifted their funerary preferences began building tombs closer to their royal seats. While the kings were no longer buried in Abydos, the city was a place of pilgrimage for the cult of Osiris, one of the most important gods of ancient Egypt. Abydos became the destination for a yearly religious procession, as it is believed that Osiris was buried in Abydos. The necropolis grew, and as more chapels and tombs were built by Egyptian nobles who wished to be buried near Osiris. Ashe, to know is to know. I will be bringing these little quick bites here and there. I hope I was able to get you interested in knowing more about histories that have impacted our lives. Ashe and deep bow to each and every one of you. Be well, stay safe, Ashe and deep bow. And I shall see you all very, very soon.